Broadcasting live from the Rinix V OBS Studio Broadcast Center at Centennial Sportsplex. This is GNASH Hockey on the Middle Tennessee Sports Network as we move on to the second game of our doubleheader tonight. Summit Page against Prep-MLK-GCA. And, well, since we had a bit of time between the Franklin-Ravenwood game and this one, they've gone ahead and done the warm-up, and we are ready to start. So don't have time to do a full pregame here. Both teams have played one game so far in the second half of the regular season. Summit Page beat Mount Juliet Wilson Central Green Hill 2 weeks ago tonight, 11-7, while Pope lost to Father Ryan 2 weeks ago tonight, 7-6. Brady Tessier going to be in goal for Summit Page. Anthony Pellegrino going to start in goal for Pope Prep-MLK-GCA for this first period. Summit Page will carry the puck towards me. Pope will carry it away from me. I am standing behind the net. The Pope are defending to its right, so the bleachers are the near side boards. The bleachers are the far side boards, and the benches are the near side boards. As this one is underway, Summit winning the opening draw. And the puck brought into the Pope zone, and a shot from Aiden Gardner would have gone over the net, but Anthony Pellegrino decides to snag it and hang on for the whistle. Draw to Pellegrino's left. Won by Summit, and a shot from the right point blocked. Here's a rebound try from James Gilmartin that hit the left leg pad of Pellegrino, but it would have been behind the net anyway. Now the puck over on the near side boards, Gilmartin. Garner joining in. Puck coming out to the slot, but intercepted by Saxon Clements. Tried to carry it out. Puck knocked off his stick. Oh, and Joe Hiller falling over trying to corral it. And a clearing attempt. Oh, unable to keep it alive at the blue line was Zach Ellis. Now here's Clayton Roach, right wing side of the Summit zone. Passes off to Saxon Clements, who had a man jump in front of him and take the puck away. And now here's Zach Ellis back in the Pope zone. Ellis poked away from him by Jacob Sullivan. Puck out at center on the stick of Saxon Clements. Clements inside the Summit zone. Hands it off to Jacob Sullivan, who swarmed and has it taken away. Puck cleared out by by Summit, now brought back in on the right wing side by Nick Gentile, trying to go to the front of the net, trying to put it out in front, but it hit the back of the net. And in this case, the back of the net, behind the net. Not as in he shot it and it went in the net. I would have been much more excited if that had happened. Puck cleared out. Cade Siemendorf intercepts, brings it back into the Summit zone on the left wing side, gets off a shot. Score! Cade Siemendorf with a shot from the left wing that ends up in the top corner on the left-hand side of the net, and Pope take the lead after just 81 seconds of play. It's 1-0 Knights with 12:19 to go in the first. Cade Siemendorf with a goal. Draw one by Summit. It's inside the Pope zone in the left wing corner, but grabbed by Siemendorf. Sent around to the near side boards. Held into the left point by Elijah Selby. Now Nick Gentile with it down low, trying to pass it up the left wing boards. Held in, and a shot blocked. Rebound from Aiden Myers, stopped by Pellegrino with a right leg pad, and then the rebound try from Sean Scott fired across the front of the net. Another shot from the right half wall, stopped by Pellegrino. Puck out at the left point. Elijah Selby shot over the way up in the air into the netting and out of play. .11:40 to go in the first. 1-0 Pope draws to the right of Pellegrino. Won by the Knights. They get it out. Here's Jack Davis, right wing side of the Summit zone. Davis with a shot, stopped by Tessier. Tried to go with an odd angle. Tessier turned him away. Puck back in the Pope zone. Nick Hollis, who was absent for the Father Ryan game, trying to pass it ahead. It went off the stick of Daniel Lawrence. Now Braden Owen brings it out in front. Unable to get the shot away, though. Now Eric Kilberg back the other way. Left wing side of the Summit zone. Kilberg falls over trying to get over to the right wing side of the zone. So the puck brought out by the Spartans. Shot on goal from center and to be turned away by Pellegrino. That shot coming from Braden Owen. Daniel Lawrence with the puck now. Passes it over to Hunter Haley. Haley backhands it to the right wing corner. Puck out on the far boards. James Gilmartin. Behind the net. Trying to backhand it out in front. Was broken up by Pellegrino. Gilmartin passes out to the right wing side, and Aiden Garner. Garner near the blue line. Unable to keep the puck inside the zone. He was trying to shift it around from the back of his stick blade to the front. Now he brings it back in. Races around Nick Hollis. A backhander turned away by Pellegrino. Aiden Garner. Wow. Went from center to the front of the net in about 2 seconds flat. Puck behind the Pope net again, and a shot from Gilmartin ends up going in the air. Now he backhands it out in front, but it's intercepted by Clayton Roach. Roach banks it off the near boards and out. Hunter Haley. Oh, gives it away, and a shot, score! Hunter Haley ends up giving the puck away inside his own zone, and I think it's Cave Ziemendorf again. No, it's Joe Hiller. Hunter Haley with a backhanded pass. He wasn't looking where he was passing it. Joe Hiller intercepts in the slot in the back of the net to make it 2-0 Pope with 9:42 to go in the first. So Summit, better job of clearing the puck out of their zone, because it's now cost them twice. Puck inside the Pope zone. Cade Ziemendorf with it. Passes out to Saxon Clements. It went off his stick. Here's Zach Ellis trying to go to the front of the net. Back is it for Cody Light for the backhander. Steered away by Pellegrino. Here's Ellis with a shot off the right leg pad of Pellegrino. Puck trickling back into the Summit zone. Puck back in the Summit zone, immediately cleared out by Cade Ziemendorf. Zach Ellis with it inside the Summit zone now. Puck comes ahead to Daniel Lawrence, passes it over to Braden Owen. Tried to get around Nick Gentile, could not. Gentile takes the puck away and sends it down ice. Puck brought back into the Pope end. Shot from the right point, misses the net to the left of Pellegrino. Held in and sent back down deep. Now Lawrence. Puck comes up to the right point, and it's taken away by Oscar Ford. Ford back in the Summit zone, but somebody jumped in front of him and swiped the puck away. Unable to keep it in the zone was Cam White when it came up to him at the right point. And Ford swiped it away and looked like he was on a breakaway at the moment until somebody jumped in and swiped the puck away. Puck back in the Pope zone. Here's a shot turned away by Pellegrino. The shot coming from Hunter Haley, and Aiden Gardner couldn't get to the rebound. Now back the other way goes Jack Davis, and he scores from the right circle. Jack Davis fires the puck into the back of the net from the right circle. And Pope have a 3-0 lead with exactly 7 minutes left in the first. Puck back in the Pope zone. Hunter Haley puts it in front. A shot from Aiden Garner. Kicked away by Pellegrino with a left leg pad. Hunter Haley with another shot off a stick and over the net. It hits the glass and stays in play. Eric Kilberg. Now here's James Gilmartin in the slot. A shot stopped by Pellegrino with a right leg pad. Eric Kilberg got knocked up against the boards, and that's what allowed that chance to happen. Now Aiden Garner with a backhander that's kicked away by Pellegrino. Here's Eric Kilberg. Oh, the puck got away from him, and unable to keep it in the zone was Hunter Haley. It looked like he was going to chip it towards the net, but I guess it sort of hopped over his stick and out. Puck back in the Summit zone. Picked up by the Spartans and carried out. Hunter Haley crosses the red line, dumps it into the Pope zone, and Summit changed the line. Here's Cade Ziemendorf. Passing across. Now it ends up being sent back into the Summit zone. And here come the Spartans trying to bring it out, but a loose puck picked up by Nick Gentile. Brought back into the Summit zone. Now here's Zach Ellis, left wing side of the Pope zone. A shot hit the legs of Nick Gentile and went past the net. Puck up at the right point. And now here is Gentile passing across to Saxon Clements on the far side. And Zach Ellis took the puck away from Clements, I should say. It's back in the Summit zone. Spartans controlling. They give it away to Clay Roach. Now the Spartans managed to clear it out. Summit clear the puck out of their zone. They'll change most of the line. Now here come the Spartans. Reeve Gable in the Pope zone, trying to back it out in front, and shanking a one-timer from the high slot was Zach Ellis. Back the other way goes Jacob Sullivan, but crossing in front of him to take the puck away was Cam White. White spinning around in the right wing corner, desperately trying to keep the puck away from Sullivan. He sends it around the wall to the far side. Now here's Cade Ziemendorf. Now Carter Bohoric, left wing side of the Summit zone. Oscar Ford put it in front, and I think his shot was blocked. Now Bohoric shoots it wide from in front. Puck comes to Sullivan, and his one-timer from the right wing went off a stick and over the net. Right circle went off a stick and over the net. Now back the other way goes Zach Ellis. Ellis into the Pope zone on the right wing side. A shot blocked away by Pellegrino. Here's Cam White. Ahead to Braden Owen, but missed Owen and ends up back inside the Pope zone. Nick Gentile behind his own net sends it around the boards to the near side. Here's Eric Kilberg out at center. In the Summit zone on the right wing. Kilberg trying to go to the front of the net. Got off a shot that was soft shot that was steered away by Brady Tessier. Then the rebound shot past the net, I think, by Jack Davis. Puck now trickling back into the Pope zone, and Davis beats Daniel Lawrence to it. Here's Davis at center. Into the Summit zone on the left wing side. Goes to the right wing side, gets off a shot that hit the post to the left of Tessier. Now the puck is behind the net. Selby, left wing side of the Pope zone, falls over up against the boards. Puck inside the Summit zone. Spartans trying to clear, held into the left point. Nick Pellegrino sent down low and cleared out by the Spartans. And icing waved off as it slowly crosses the Pope goal line. So play will continue. Nick Pellegrino. Try to pass ahead to Eric Kilberg. Clayton Roach with it at center now. Roach. Now it's deep in the Summit zone. And Aiden Garner comes up with a puck. Aiden Garner to center. Garner into the Pope zone on the right wing side. Around the back of the net. Drops it behind the net. Now it's over on the far side. And trying a centering pass was Jonah Ferguson. It was intercepted by Nick Pellegrino. Ferguson was trying to get it to James Gilmartin in front. At the other end of the rink, Ferguson breaks up a pass attempt from Pellegrino to Saxon Clements. Inside the final minute of the first already. Jeez. Puck leaks out in front of the Pope net. A one-timer from James Gilmartin. Stopped by Pellegrino with a left leg pad. Anthony Pellegrino in this case. Pellegrino flips it ahead. Puck out at center. And sent it back ahead to Hunter Haley, who was just inside the Pope zone, and he touched it offside. 25.3 seconds left in the first, 3-0. Pope leading. Draw's going to be on the dot in front of the Pope bench. One by Summit. Zach Ellis brings it into the Pope zone, but couldn't get around Cade Siemendorf. And the Knights do get the puck out. Just out. And time runs out on the first. Pope Prep-MLK-GCA only had 5 shots on goal in the first period, but 3 of them went in the back of the net from Cade Siemendorf, Joe Hiller, and Jack Davis, as Anthony Pellegrino turned away all 12 shots that Summit Page threw at him. So Pope Prep-MLK-GCA leading Summit Page 3-0 at the end of 1. Ready to go for the second period. Pope Prep-MLK-GCA will carry the puck towards me. Summit Page will carry it away from me. Brady Tessier still in goal for the Spartans. Anthony Pellegrino still in goal for the Knights. As the second period is underway. Puck inside the Summit zone deep. Zach Ellis with it. Passes ahead to Cody Lightfoot. Puck slides into the Pope zone. Lightfoot's going to catch up to it at the inboards. Try and carry it up the left wing side. Hands it off. Sean Scott with a shot. Turned away by Anthony Pellegrino. Puck out at center. Zach Ellis back inside his own zone. Try to pass ahead. Hit the skates of Oscar Ford. Jonah Ferguson there to recover the puck and clear it out. Nick Gentile, left wing side of the Summit zone with a shot. Soft little shot that's steered away by Brady Tessier with a stick. Now Sean Scott out at center. Back in the Pope zone on the right wing side. Coleman Glidewell gets in front of him and sends the puck around the kick plate. Puck out at center. Here's Zach Ellis bringing it back into the Pope zone on the right wing side. A shot. Steered away, turned away by Pellegrino with a blocker. Pucked up back into the Pope zone by Elijah Selby. There's Cade Ziemendorf with the first goal of the game. Passing it over to Nick Gentile. Gentile sending it back around to the near side. And out at center. Pushed back into the Pope zone. However, it was offside. It's called offside. Daniel Lawrence was still inside the zone. I think when Hudson Halters tried to carry the puck in. 12:09 to go in the second. 3-0 Pope. Puck at center. Cam White with it for Summit inside his own zone. Try to bank it off the glass and out. Eric Kilberg keeps it alive. Now Elijah Selby with it. Gives it away. Ian Sullivan in the slot. Passes over Kilberg and try to go back to Jack Davis on the left wing side, but pass was a little Davis. Now here's Kilberg. Trying to pass out up top, but Braden Owen deflected it. Now here's Hudson Halters bringing it back into the Pope zone, trying to get it over to Owen. Trying to put it back in front for Halters. Puck cleared out by Pope. And there's a hit on the far side boards. Jack Davis with a hit on Cam White. That's going to result in a penalty, it looks like, for the Knights. Cross-checking the call against Davis. So first penalty of the game against Pope. So the first power play of the game goes to Summit Page, trailing 3-0 with 10:56 left in the second. Draw was to the right of Anthony Pellegrino, won by Summit, but turned over to Pope, who were able to bring it to the Summit blue line and dump it in. Cam White with it now for the Spartans. Passes it over to Aiden Garner. Garner, left wing side of the Pope zone. Puck turned over to the Knights, and a shot on goal from center. Had to be knocked down by Tessier with a blocker. That shot coming from Clayton Roach. Zach Ellis carried the puck out of his zone, but had it poked away by Jacob Sullivan, and that kind of disturbed Ellis and caused him to fall over. Ellis with it at center now. Oh, left it behind him right at the Pope blue line. Minute left in the power play for Summit. James Gilmartin, left wing side of the Pope zone. Passes out high to Cam White. White shot over the net. And Pope come up with a puck and clear it down ice. Brady Tessier leaves it for Cam White. White, almost turning it over in front of his own net with Joe Hiller all over top of him. Has to hand it off to Aiden Garner. 30 seconds left in the power play for Summit. Here's Garner. Back into the Pope zone, rounds some defenders. But he could not get the shot away because he had Clay Roach right up against him. Now Zach Ellis with a shot, an on-angle shot from the left wing corner boards that's gloved and held on to by Pellegrino. 17 seconds left of the power play. 9:13 to go in the first. 9:13 to go in the second. The second. It's still 3-0 Pope. Draws to Pellegrino's right. And won by Summit. Jonah Ferguson whiffed on a shot attempt on the right wing side. Puck comes around the boards to the far side. Penalty time against Pope is up. They're back at even strength. Here's Jonah Ferguson. Trying to pass the puck up to the blue line, and it looked for a moment like Daniel Lawrence was going to keep it in. But now here come Pope. Jack Davis out of the box. Right wing side of the Summit zone, a shot blockered away by Tessier. Here is Aiden Meyer. Back inside the Pope zone, deep. On the end boards. Battle for the puck in the left wing corner. Clayton Roach comes up with it. Roach flips it through the air and out. Daniel Lawrence with it at center. Banks it off the far boards, but it's intercepted and sent back the other way by Cade Ziemendorf. Puck just above the left wing corner of the Summit zone. Owen Gillum had it, but gives it away to Jonah Ferguson. Ferguson backhands it off the far boards. Eric Kilberg with it to try and keep it in the zone, but now it ends up out at center. Aiden Meyer takes it away from Cade Ziemendorf. Meyer had to get to the, went to the Pope blue line and suddenly had to curve back because Sean Scott was way offside. Now here's Meyer dumping the puck back into the Pope zone from center as he goes to the bench for a change. Puck now back in the Summit zone. Jonah Ferguson with it. Passes it over to Elijah Selby, who passes it back to Ferguson. Ferguson on the far boards, banks it off the wall. And out to center. Nick Pellegrino with it now for Pope. Try to pass ahead to Owen Gillum. Intercepted by Ferguson, sent back into the Pope zone. Now cleared out by Nick Pellegrino. It's going to be an icing. 6:30 left in the second, still 3-0 Pope. Draw is going to be to the left of Pellegrino. James Gilmartin down low with a shot turned away by Pellegrino. Puck back in the Summit zone. Elijah Selby. Now Hunter Haley out at center. Haley brings it into the Pope zone on the left wing side. Gets off a shot. Stopped and covered up by Pellegrino. 5:58 left in the second. Still 3-0 Knights. Draw is to the right of Pellegrino. Puck on the far wall. Pope with it and they clear. Now here's Saxon Clements in the Summit zone, but Colin Breedlove crossed paths with him and got the puck off of him. Now here's Aiden Garner out at center. Garner in the Pope zone on the left wing side. Can't get around the back checkers. Here come the Knights again. Puck poked away from Clay Roach and then falls over dramatically. Far side boards of his own zone. Aiden Garner with a puck out at center, and Roach a little slow to get up. And Garner at the other end tried to pass over to James Gilmartin, who had a little trouble controlling the puck, got off a soft backhander that stopped and held on to by Anthony Pellegrino. 5 minutes left in the second, still 3-0 Pope. Draws to the left of Pellegrino. Puck was in the Summit zone for a moment. Now it's brought back in by the Spartans, brought back into the Pope zone. Now at the other end, a backhanded shot from Eric Kilberg off the stick of Jonah Ferguson and out of play. .429 left in the second, still 3-0 Pope. Draws to the left of Brady Tessier, won by the Knights. Here's Daniel Lawrence. Trying to drop it back to Hudson Halters inside the Pope zone. That did not work out. The way he wanted it to. Now it's back in the Summit zone. Jonah Ferguson controlling. Trying to clear it out at the far side. Now here's Zach Ellis back in the Pope zone, trying to go to the front of the net. Couldn't get the shot away. And at the other end, Jacob Sullivan tried a backdoor pass to Nick Pellegrino that didn't work out. It actually deflected off Brady. Now back the other way comes Aiden Meyer. Meyer inside the Pope zone. Here's Sean Scott, backhanding it across the front of the net and shot wide, backhanded wide by Aiden Meyer. Puck put out in front but swatted away from Cody Lightfoot. Puck sent to the other end of the rink by Pope. Here's Elijah Selby. Cam White, tried to clear. He almost gave it away to Jacob Sullivan, whom, if he'd been able to control, would have been going to the front of the net all alone. It's Coleman Glidewell near the left wing boards. Drops it down low. Now it's behind the net. Brought around out in front. And Jacob Sullivan backs into Brady Tessier. The puck ends up going over the goal line, but it's waved off. Glidewell and Sullivan came out in front. And they both kind of pushed Tessier back. And the goal was waved off. 2:19 left in the second, still 3-0 Pope. Draws to the left of Tessier. One by Summit, and they clear. Ends up back in their zone. They clear it out again. Now Nick Gentile with it. Over to Saxon Clements. Clements with a slap shot that went across the front of the Summit net. Now it's inside the Pope zone. James Gilmartin trying to go to the front of the net. That ends up going behind the net. And the Knights able to clear. Cam White banks it off the far boards. It's back in the Pope zone. And able to sneak in from behind and get off a shot was James Gilmartin. Was turned away by Pellegrino. Jumped in on Nick Gentile and got a shot away. Now here's Clayton Roach with a shot at the other end. Stopped by Tessier with a right leg pad. David Bavis trying to put the puck out in front for Roach. It's knocked away, I think, by Cam White. Now Hunter Haley, final minute of the second. And Hunter Haley tripping a Pope player at the other end of the ice. And he's going to go to the box for it. Tripping the call. So Pope getting their first power play of the game up 3-0 with 53.3 seconds left in the second. Draw is to the left of Brady Tessier. It's in the left wing corner of the Summit zone. Now Zach Ellis tried to clear it out, but he hit Aiden Meyer inside the zone. He went to whip it to the other end of the rink, and it hit Aiden Meyer. It is out at center now, but not as far as Summit would have liked. Under 30 seconds left in the period. Meyer drops it back to Ellis inside the Summit zone. Ellis spins away from Eric Kilberg. Passes ahead to Sean Scott. Scott inside the Pope zone on the left wing side. A shot knocked down by the glove of Anthony Pellegrino. Time running out in the second. Here come Pope. Clayton Roach drops it back. Here's Jack Davis. Now Eric Kilberg passes below the goal line to Roach. Time runs out on the second. 66 seconds of power play time will carry over to the third for Pope. It was 3-0 Knights coming into the second. It's 3-0 Knights going out of the second, as Pope Prep-MLK-GCA continue to lead Summit Page. Ready to go for the third and final period of this one. Brady Tessier still in goal for Summit Page. Anthony Pellegrino still in goal for Pope. For this third period, Summit will carry the puck towards me. Pope will carry it away from me. The Knights starting this third period with 66 seconds of power play time carrying over from the end of the second. Pope win the draw to start the third, but they turn it over to the Spartans, and Sean Scott dumps it into the Pope zone. And Joe Hiller with a pass to Oscar Ford, who wasn't looking. Aiden Meyer stole it, but for some reason decided to try and not go to the front of the net when he had plenty of space. Under a minute left, well under a minute left in the power play for Pope. Puck back in the Summit end and cleared out by the Spartans. Pellegrino passes it around the boards. He got a bump from Sean Scott because he was trying to go back to the crease when Scott was making his way around the back of the net. Puck out at center. 20 seconds left of the power play for Pope, who have the puck taken away. Here's Aiden Meyer in front of backhander. He scores! Meyer with a shorty. Went across the front of the net. I think he didn't shoot right away. He had Pellegrino held up at the left-hand post, and then he backhands it in to put Summit on the board. 3-1 Knights with 13:05 to go. 12 seconds left in the penalty against Summit. That may be the secret for Summit. Don't shoot right away when you get to Pellegrino. Hold it and fool him. James Gilmartin with the puck now, a shot. Stopped by Pellegrino from the bottom of the left circle. Puck ended up loose, and Pope almost paid for it. Penalty time against Summit is up. They're back at even strength. Here's Aiden Garner putting the puck out in front. He's intercepted. Now the puck out in front. A shot stopped by Pellegrino. And the rebound try stopped by Pellegrino as well. Both of those shots from James Gilmartin. 12:35 to go. 3-1 Pope. But, man, they got to be more careful with a puck inside their own zone. Draw was to the right of Pellegrino. Is out at center for a moment. Now brought back in. Aiden Garner, a shot turned away by Pellegrino. The left-hand side of the net. Puck ended up going out of play on the near side of the ice. The Hendersonville-Rutherford game should be over by now. Drawing the dot in front of the Pope bench. Won by Summit, and then Zach Peterson whiffed on a dump-in attempt. And there was a pile-up at the face-off dot. Coleman Glidewell was going to go to the box. And then Cody Lightfoot gave him a bump after the whistle, and that cost Summit a power play. Cross-checking called against Glidewell, unsportsmanlike conduct called against Lightfoot. So it'll stay 5-on-5, 11:51 to go. 3-1 Pope. Draw is going to be to the right of Anthony Pellegrino. Here's Sean Scott behind the Pope net. Backhands it out in front. And an on-angle shot from Reeve Gable went off the stick of Meyer and it'll be turned away by Pellegrino. Puck out at center. Meyer grabs it, brings it back in on the right wing. He's near the boards, tied up with Joe Hiller. Clearing attempt held in at the right point. A shot off his skate comes over to Elijah Selby in the left circle, and his shot is broken up and brought out by Saxon Clements. Puck ends up back in the Pope zone. Aiden Meyer, if he'd been able to control the puck, would have gotten around Nick Hollis. Meyer dubs the puck down low. He's squeezed up against the boards by Joe Hiller. Here's Nick Pellegrino having the puck jabbed away from him. Comes out to the slot, and now Saxon Clements carries it to center. Clements into the Summit zone. Shot attempt was broken up. Nick Pellegrino, a shot in the right wing side. Stopped and covered up by Brady Tessier. 10:48 to go. Still 3-1. Pope. Draw to the left of Tessier. One by Summit, slapped around the boards. It's out at center. Braden Owen, right wing side of the Pope zone, could not get around Jack Davis. Nick Gentile with a takeaway and pass ahead to Jacob Sullivan. Sullivan at center. Had the puck taken off him at the Summit blue line. Puck chipped back into the Pope zone by Hudson Halters. Nick Gentile beats him to it. Drops it back to Cade Ziemendorf, who scored the first goal of the game. Now Jack Davis over to Ziemendorf. Joe Hiller, by the way, stands to have the game winner right now. His goal that made it 2-0 Pope in the first period. All three of Pope's goals came in the first. Ziemendorf shot in the left point. Nick Gentile goes across the front of the net. Ziemendorf, Hiller, and Davis all scoring for Pope. And Aiden Meyer has scored here in the third for Summit. Hudson Halters tried to clear the puck out. Hit some Pope skates. It's back in the Pope zone. But Zach Ellis can't get a stick on it. Jonah Ferguson. Left wing side of the Pope zone. Backhands it in front, but nobody in a red sweater is there. Allowing Nick Gentile to pass it up the far wall to Jacob Sullivan. Sullivan and it poked away inside the Summit zone by Zach Ellis. Puck brought out in front by Davis. Got off an awkward backhander that would have missed the net. Actually, it did miss the net. Sullivan falls over. Here's Nick Pellegrino shooting with the right circle that misses the net. Back the other way comes Summit. Here's Zach Ellis back in the Pope zone. A shot shouldered up into the air. And by Anthony Pellegrino. And how on earth did it not touch the rafters? It went way up there. And then James Gilmartin with a rebound try that's gloved and held onto by Pellegrino. 8:40 to go, still 3-1 Pope. But how on earth did that go up, way up in the air and didn't touch anything? Draws to Pellegrino's left. Puck was carried into the Summit zone by Pope, taken away by the Spartans. Here's Aiden Garner inside the Pope zone on the left wing side. Puck poked away by Nick Pellegrino. Puck out on the near boards. Hunter Haley with it. Haley trying to carry it to the front of the net. Gets off a shot that's stopped and held onto by Pellegrino, Anthony Pellegrino from the left circle. 7:54 left in the third. Still 3-1 Pope. Draws to Pellegrino's right. Here's Clay Roach. Inside the Summit zone, trying to go to the front of the net. Clearing attempt held in by Nick Hollis. Sends it down low to the end boards. Saxon Clements trying to backhand it out in front. Back the other way goes Joe Hiller. Passes it off and shot across the front of the net. I think by Clements. Summit trying to get the puck out of their zone. Roach holds it in. Carries down deep. A shot. Score! Roach going down the slot, got off a shot that looked like it hit the very bottom inside part of the right-hand post, and into the back of the net it goes. And Pope re-extend the lead to 3. They're now up 4-1 with 7:05 to go. Puck now in the Pope zone. Nick Gentile trying to clear. It does go out to center. Tracked down by Cam White. White trying to pass it up the far side and misses Sean Scott, and it goes for an icing. 6:16 to go, 4-1 Pope. Draw was to the right of Brady Tessier, won by Summit. Brought into the Pope zone, and Nick Gentile with it now. Jacob Sullivan now out at center, left wing side of the Summit zone. Had it poked away. That's back in the Pope end once more. Nick Gentile sends it around the wall to the far side, or around the boards to the far side. Sent back the other way by Summit. Elijah Selby backhands it down low. Braden Owen behind the net picks it up. Puts it out in front, but misses Daniel Lawrence. Comes to Oscar Ford, who's able to clear. Brought back inside the Pope zone. Held in Braden Owen, a shot. Gloved and held on to by Pellegrino. 5:10 to go, still 4-1 Pope. Draw to the left of Pellegrino, won by Summit. Puck sent towards the front of the net, was deflected away. That's back in the Summit zone. Caught up to by Jack Davis. Tries to hand it off to Eric Kilberg. Kilberg behind the net. Passing it over to Davis on the near wall. Davis out high, and a shot from Nick Hollis was blocked. Now here comes Summit the other way. Aiden Garner, right wing side of the Pope zone, a shot stopped by Pellegrino. Rebound try, stopped by Pellegrino as well. That was from James Gilmartin. Puck sent deep into the Summit end. Now on a breakaway in the Pope zone is Hunter Haley. A shot stopped by Pellegrino. Jonah Ferguson trying to send it to the front of the net. Hit a body and went past net. Now it's out in front. Aiden Garner with a shot. Stopped and covered up by Pellegrino. Actually got off two shots that were stopped by Pellegrino as Eric Kilberg getting pushy with Garner. And we're going to have penalties for that, coincidentals. Jack Davis is going to be sent to the box. Is it unsportsmanlike all around? High stick, unsportsmanlike. Okay, so high sticks on Kilberg and Garner, and the extra penalty on unsportsmanlike against Jack Davis. As someone's going to use their timeout. I think it might be Summit. Meanwhile, I'm going to go talk to Scott Sullivan, get a Hendersonville-Rutherford final from him. Rutherford beat Hendersonville 4-0. So Hendersonville's 4-game winning streak and 7-game unbeaten streak are both snapped. Timeout done. Draw to the left of Pellegrino. The net is empty for Summit. As they're on this power play here. Puck cleared down ice by Pope. Zach Ellis track it down and pick it up. Ellis through center. Tried to pass to the front of the net, broken up by Cade Ziemendorf. Now he puts the puck out in front, and James Gilmartin backhands it wide. Ellis picks it up, comes around to the left wing side. Passes below the goal line. Gilmartin passes back out to Ellis. Fakes a slapper, passes out up top. And a shot from Hunter Haley blocked. Hunter Haley with the puck again. Pass to the slot. Intercepted by Nick Hollis. Taken back by Cody Lightfoot. Cam White, left point. Passes over to Ellis. Ellis back to White. Minute left of the power play for Summit. White shot blocked by Cade Ziemendorf. Joe Hiller tried to clear the puck out. Held in by Ellis. Ellis trying to get around Ziemendorf. He's in the left circle. Pass across, shot, score! Aiden Meyer from the right circle. Fires it into the back of the net to convert the power play. Make it 4-2 Pope with 2:46 to go. Brady Tessier was out of the net for 72 seconds. Tessier back in the net. Draw one by Pope. How big is that Clay Roach goal earlier in this period right now for Pope? Puck back in the Pope zone. Tessier back to the bench. He's on it with 2:38 left. Clearing attempt held in at the right point. A shot stopped by Pellegrino. That shot coming from Cam White. Here's Clay Roach getting the puck out of the zone. Still near the blue line, though. Roach pushed into the boards at the Summit bench. And now here's Aiden Gardner with the puck. Or excuse me, it's Zach Ellis. Ellis carries it back into the Pope zone. Leaves it for Gilmartin. Passes down the wall trying to get it to Cody Lightfoot. Lightfoot turns it over. Here's Jack Davis. His shot misses the net. He's going to miss the empty net. It went off of Cam White, who was standing right in front of him, so they wave icing off because it went off of White on its way down. Here's White, inside his own zone. Carries it to center. It's back in the Pope end. Nick Pellegrino. Try to fire it down. And they called a high stick against Summit. And the puck is going to be dropped to the left of the Summit net, meaning Brady Tessier is going to have to come back out. So their extra attacker has to go back to the bench. 77 seconds left, 4-2 Pope. Draw is to Tessier's left. Here comes Summit. Back to the bench goes Tessier. He's on 1:01 to go. Shot from the high slot, knocked down with a glove of Pellegrino. That was from Aiden Gardner. Puck out at center. Cam White knocks it down. We're inside the final minute of the game. Here's Zach Ellis. Almost ran into one of his own teammates and lost the puck. Here's Jack Davis. Looked like he was going to go for the empty net, but the puck swiped away. It's out at center. Under 30 seconds left. Zach Ellis with the puck. Brought back into the Pope zone. It's at the inboard. Sean Scott puts it out in front, but here's Reeve Gable trying to get it in front. Pellegrino down, but Zach Ellis couldn't get the shot away. Nick Gentile clears it out. Icing waved off, and Pope are going to win this one 4-2. Big win for the Knights. They stay alive in the GNASH Cup race, but they're barely hanging on by a thread. They are now 1-1 in the second half of the regular season, 4-5 in the GNASH Cup fight. Forgot to mention that Franklin are now 8-0-1. Ravenwood are now 3-6 in the GNASH Cup race. Pope are still behind Father Ryan, though. They both have the same record, and Ryan beat Pope in the 2 games they played against each other. That was a really good game. It was a really good goaltending performance by Anthony Pellegrino again. Having to save his team's hide again. So the goal scorers in this one for Summit, 2 goals from Aiden Meyer. And for Pope, it was Cade Siemendorf, Joe Hiller, Jack Davis, who are the game winner, and Clayton Roach. But I'm going to give player of the game to Anthony Pellegrino. He made, well, they say 35 shots. I think Summit had more than that. I think they had 37. He made 35 saves on 37 shots. And they needed that 3-0 first period lead because Summit got better as the game went on and threw more and more shots at him. So Anthony Pellegrino, our player of the game in this one, is Pope Prep-MLK-GCA beat Summit Page 4-2. So we know the scores. We have 5 of tonight's finals in the books. We just need a final score for Ensworth against Mount Juliet. So, we do know about final scores of the games that we do know about. Brentwood beat Independence Ravenwood 6-1. Centennial beat USNBA Nashville Christian FRA Goodpasture 5-2. Franklin beat Ravenwood 7-2. Rutherford Rampage beat Hendersonville Beach Gallatin 4-0. And Pope Prep-MLK-GCA beat Summit Page 4-2. So here are the updated standings with those 5 games in the books. Franklin, at the moment, leading Tier 1 in the second half at 2-0. Ensworth, Nolensville, Lipscomb at 1-0-1. Summit Page, Father Ryan, and Pope now all at 1-1, 1 win and 1 loss. MBA at 0-2, 2 ties. Mount Juliet, Wilson Central, Green Hill at 0-1-1, 1 loss and 1 tie, and Ravenwood at the bottom of Tier 2 at 0-2. Sorry, at the bottom of Tier 1 at 0-2. Tier 2, Centennial leading at 3-0. Then you've got Rutherford at 2-0 behind them. Then you got a big group at 1-1. Hendersonville, the Outlaws, and Brentwood. USNBA Nashville Christian FRA Goodpasture now 1-2. And Independence and Station Camp Liberty Creek now both 0-2. And the GNASH Cup standings look like this. Franklin leading at 8-0-1. MBA in second at 6-0-3. 8 wins and 1 tie for Franklin. 6 wins, 3 ties for MBA. Father Ryan and Pope both at 4-5. They're still in it, but barely. If Franklin beat MBA on Wednesday night, they're both out. And then you got Ravenwood at 3-6. They're out. Mount Juliet, Wilson Central, Green Hill, 2-5-2 because we still don't know the score of the game against Ensworth, but they're out too. So Ravenwood and Mount Juliet are both out of the race for the GNASH Cup. As we start to move into December, we close out November later this week on Thursday. Thursday's the last day of November. Let's look at the schedule for Wednesday. 5 games. It all gets started at 7:10 over on Rink A. Ravenwood against Father Ryan. The Fighting Irish looking for the sweep, the regular season sweep of the Raptors. 7:30 on the North Rink at Antioch Station Camp Liberty Creek taking on USNBA Nashville Christian FRA Goodpasture. 8:30 here on Rink B at Centennial. MBA taking on Franklin. That's the game we'll have for you. 8:25 pregame for an 8:30 face-off. 8:40 over on Rink A. The Outlaws taking on Independence, Ravenwood 2. And then 9:15 on the North Rink at Antioch. Rutherford Rampage taking on Centennial. So that is it for us this evening. That is the end of our doubleheader for tonight. Again, our final scores tonight, our on-air finals, Franklin 7, Ravenwood 2, and just now Pope Prep-MLK-GCA 4, Summit Page 2. I'm Michael Hackney. Thank you all so much for listening, and good night, everybody, from Centennial Sportsplex. Talk to you Wednesday at 8:25 for Franklin against MBA.